back to another video, guys, and today we're going to be talking to you about how we both found out that we were having a baby.
Okay. I thought you were going to say that we were pregnant, and I was like, no.
No, we
are pregnant.
Alright, let me know in the comments below.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for it.
Let me know in the comments below if it's we are pregnant.
No.
Or she is pregnant.
No.
But it's we are pregnant.
It's I am pregnant. Well, I'm not. I was pregnant.
That can all change.
It's not.
So, we're going to be discussing how we found out we were pregnant.
No, we're discussing how I found out how I was pregnant.
We were pregnant. So if this is your first time watching us, hit the subscribe button, join the fam, and if you like this video, give us a big thumbs up. It helps us out a lot, and we were going to jump straight into this video. So, begin.
Did you just command me to begin? No, now I don't want to start. Alright, this was almost a year ago. Actually, it was 10 months ago.
No, it has to be more than 10 months. Pregnancy is 10 months.
But it's 10 months, so I found out in September. It's July.
I thought you found out earlier.
No, I found out... Oh my god. Rookie here. What are you... Come on. The 21st night of September.
Yes.
What are you doing? Earth, Wind, and Fire, baby.
Well, first of all, alright. I'm gonna expose myself. I don't know my months, alright? There it is. It's out there.
I never learned born in September. We found out literally 8 days after my birthday.
So, go ahead. You tell your story.
So, okay. Can you believe, though, that next month is
You're pregnant again? Oh.
No. Next month, like 1 month from now, is a year since like what they consider my conception date.
Okay. That's kind of crazy.
That is. Okay, so we are 10, this is 10 months ago now. Because
Okay.
it is July.
Flashback.
And we found out in September.
Flashback to July, okay.
No, flashback to September. So it was like, literally, I remember, it was the day after my birthday. My birthday is September 13th. So, boom, the next day, I started not feeling well, right? Like, I started noticing, the very first thing that I noticed was, I went into the kitchen, and all the food that I normally would eat did not look good all of a sudden. Like, I couldn't even stand to look at tofu. I couldn't stand to look at, like, the snacks that I had in the cabinet. And I was like, what is this? Like, I had the worst food aversions, but I didn't feel sick or anything. Like, the food itself, like, grossed me out.
So it was the day after your birthday?
It was literally the day after my birthday. And I walked into the kitchen to, like, go eat, and everything repulsed me.
Now, question. You didn't think, oh, maybe I caught something from the lemurs?
No.
That's the first thing I would have thought. I'm like, yo, did one of these lemurs get me like...
But here's the thing. That day, I felt perfectly fine. It was just somehow looking at food was gross. I'm just saying, like, that was the very, very first symptom I ever showed.
But you didn't, at that point, did you think you were
No.
Okay.
I was just like, what the hell is happening? Because I felt perfectly fine.
I got lemuritis. You got lemuritis.
No, I felt perfectly fine. And I was just like, this is weird. This has never happened to me in my life. But I didn't think twice.
Okay.
I was like, whatever. I don't even remember what I ate. I don't even think I ate. So it was like the next day, same thing. I was like, what the hell? It was like all of a sudden I hated all food. That's really what it was. It was like all of a sudden I hated food. I was like, ew.
Yeah, we already know that's an abnormality.
Exactly. I mean, like, come on.
And how many days did that last before it like elevated? Because it elevates.
Like 3 to 4. So the food aversion thing happened for like a few days. It was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
So that was like right after your parents left. It started. Oh,
literally like when they left.
Okay.
So then, like that, like it was like Thursday. I started not feeling good. I was like, I feel a little weird. Like, I didn't feel like nauseous per se, and I just didn't feel right. And I was like, okay, maybe I just I'm having an off day. I don't feel good.
And also at that time, we're doing 75.
Yes. So on top of this, I'm doing 2 workouts a day. But there's nothing like red flagging to be like, maybe you are pregnant because
you got lemuritis.
You're right. It was lemuritis. So I did like miss my period, which like you think is like, hey, red flag. But for me, it's not a red flag.
Yes.
Because I have PCOS and my cycle's never been like regular or normal or anything like that. So it wasn't that big of a red flag. Plus, we were working out heavy.
And on top of that, with PCOS, it's harder to get pregnant.
Yeah. Now it's like the weekend is hitting, and I was like sick. Like, I was so nauseous. I couldn't eat. I wanted to throw up looking at food.
My food.
What?
My food made you like super sick.
Yeah, like the smell of your food. And I was like, and it was bad. Like all of a sudden, it literally hit me like a truck. And I was like, I couldn't smell food. I couldn't look at food. I felt so sick to my stomach. Like I couldn't even get up out of bed. Like that's how bad it was. Like I was like bedridden that whole weekend. Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No,
I
it was longer
bedridden.
than that. It was.
Well, it was.
Like the first week you were out.
But I was like super heavy bedridden. I was like, okay, something's not right. So I remember specifically I was in bed and I was watching Bones and I was Googling, does COVID show up as gastro symptoms? Because I'm like, do I have COVID? I'm like, because COVID, like it's like a respiratory, like it affects your respiratory. So I'm like, does it affect your gastro? Like,
She said you got the vid.
Does it show as like gastro?
Who knows what the vid?
Exactly. So I was like, maybe like for me, it's like it's like showing up as like gastro and not respiratory. So, and I'm like, no, I don't really feel like I really have it. Like this is not. I'm like, this is not right. Like I feel really sick. Physically, like my body, it felt like a mess, like I was being covered in weights and I couldn't get up. I couldn't even walk from the bed to the kitchen without being doubled over. I was severely out of breath, like, and that's when I was like, oh, maybe it is COVID, because all of a sudden, like, I was like having like really bad like breathing problems and I couldn't breathe, and like literally going to the bathroom and to the kitchen was like, it was not happening because I was so out of breath. It kind of like dawned on me, like my friend was like, maybe you're pregnant. And I was like, no. And then I was like, am I? No. Yeah, nah, that can't be it. And she was like, no, like for real, maybe you are. And I was like, no. And then like, so after she kind of said it, it was kind of like lingering in my head. Like, well, what if I am? But I never like been in that situation before. So I was like, I don't know. I brought it up to Manny, right? So I go out to Manny. Manny's playing video games, and I'm like, Manny, what if I'm pregnant? Because like I couldn't even get out of bed. I was like gasping for air in the doorway, and you were like, Manny was convinced that it was me using Florida tap water to make my oats and using expired flax
No, don't make it sound like that.
And he thought that's what was making me
Don't
sick.
make it sound like that. So we were
That
trying
is
to.
what it was. That's
No,
what
no, no.
he
We were
said.
trying to figure out why you could possibly feel sick, because you didn't really tell me about the breathing. You told me about the nausea. So I'm like, all right, nausea.
Well,
let's
it was
see.
like not even nausea at that point. It was like my stomach didn't feel right.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, cool. Let's examine what we got here. So I'm like going through the cupboards. I'm like, you've been having oats, right? And she's like, yeah. I was like, this expired like 7 months ago.
No, the flax seeds are
The flax,
expired.
yeah. I was like, this is expired like 7 months ago. And I was like, what kind of water are you drinking? And she's like, I've been using the tap water. I was like, you always feel kind of weird when you use tap water, so it must be the tap water mixed with the flaxseed.
I don't even know why I wasn't using the filtered water.
Yeah, Alex almost never uses tap water.
Yeah,
by the
I
way.
don't.
And then on top of that, she's eating something 7 months expired. I was like, that's gotta be it.
So yeah, so Manny was
Yes,
convinced.
that's
He's
it.
like, that's what it is. So okay, so
I'm
that's
still
what it
convinced.
was. So
I'm still
that's what it
convinced.
was. So I stopped. Obviously, like I stopped eating that stuff, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I feel a little bit better. But I was like, something's still not right. And then that's when it was like, now we're like in the weekend, and I'm like, it's getting worse now. And I'm like, Manny, I think it was one of those like psychological things. So like after I cut out the tap water and the flax seeds, psychologically I was like, oh, okay, I feel a little bit better. But like I really didn't feel better. I felt worse. Actually.
Bro,
Like I felt worse.
she told me you felt better, and it got me. I was like a genius, bro.
Yeah.
Sherlock
He's like,
Holmes, bro.
I told you it was the flax seeds in the water. And I was like, yeah, okay.
You know what I
whatever.
felt like? Jimmy Neutron. I had brain blast.
So now it's like the weekend, and now I feel worse, and I could not get up. So I was like, maybe I'm like sick. Maybe I just have like a stomach bug. So
There's our daughter right now. Spoiler alert, here's our daughter.
yeah, right. So hi, baby.
Hi.
Hi, mama. Hi, baby. Oh, you have a nice little tiny nap. Yeah.
She
Okay.
about to look at her eyes. She about to go again.
I thought maybe I have a stomach bug. So I go to the store and I go to get soup and water. I was like, maybe it's this, like the tap. Maybe I need like a like actual bottled water. So I went to Publix. I got soup. I got Amy's soup, and I got a gallon of water.
Yeah. Mommy got soup and water.
You think that's funny?
That didn't get rid of her symptoms because you were her symptom. Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt a little better after I finally ate. But still, now it's like in the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm like, it's worse. Now I'm like on the verge of throwing up, and I physically couldn't even get up. I couldn't even get up to go into the kitchen. I don't know what it was. Like, it felt like my whole body was just like weighed down. I thought she was about to laugh. I was gonna be like, you think that's funny? No, she sees the camera.
She sees herself. You really like the camera. Sheesh.
You love the camera and the phones. Oh, yeah, that's not good. But
and TV.
Yeah.
She stares at a blank TV.
Now, like I said, I can't even get up to go into the kitchen at all. I'm completely bedridden. Yes. And now I'm doing yoga from the bed because I'm still trying to do 75 hard. So I'm like in bed doing yoga, watching Bones 24/7. And I'm like, Manny, I think maybe I might be pregnant. And he's like, no, you're not. And I was like, no, like, what if maybe I am? He's like, nah, you would know. And I was like, but I wouldn't know because I've never been in this situation. So I was like, no, I really think, he's like, no, you don't sound like you're really convinced. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm not. So
because when you were telling me, you're like, other people said I might be pregnant, so maybe I'm pregnant. Like, it didn't come from you, it came from like outside. So I was like, nah, you can't be pregnant. Like, that's outside sources telling you pregnant. You gotta feel it.
Manny was like, you should know, you would know. And I was like, but I wouldn't know because I've never been in this situation.
You gotta feel it though. Like, you gotta be like, you know what? I think I'm pregnant.
I was like, Manny, I think I wanna like go take a pregnancy test. He's like, no. So now we wait another day, and I'm like, okay. And now I'm like sick, not eating, really sick. So I'm like, Manny, today, this has been 3 days now, we've pushed it. I was like, we are going today to get a pregnancy test, okay? Because I feel like I have a pit in my stomach. And then as soon as I said that, Manny was like, you pregnant? And I was like,
you said, I feel like I have a pit in my stomach. I said, oh shit, you pregnant.
Yeah. I was like, it literally feels like there is a pit, like a literal pit in my stomach. And he was like, oh.
You're pregnant.
You are pregnant. And I was like, no, what do you mean? And he was like, maybe you are. No. So we went over to CVS and I got the Clearview.
Which is stupid expensive at CVS.
Oh my god, I spent $20.
Oh, baby.
I spent $20 on 2 pregnancy tests.
Yep.
That's $10 a stick.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the first one. And I was so nervous. I also picked up food for the first time. I was like, let me get some food. So we picked Panera.
Panera.
You didn't get anything. So you came back and you were like, all right, eat your food and then we'll take it. And now I'm like super nervous and now I don't want to take it. And I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? Ate, took the test, and then we looked at it together.
Well, I was working out while we were waiting. You were anxious. I was working out. I remember that.
But you worked out because you were anxious.
I don't remember that, but
yeah,
I remember
you were
working
doing push-ups because you were like, I can't sit still, I can't sit still. So you did push-ups. Spoiler alert, it said pregnant. But
which you had to reconfirm.
I had to reconfirm because I did not believe it. I was like, I had to reconfirm I'd take the other one. And that one, instant, like as soon as it literally went to the positive. I love looking at the freaking camera.
I know, she's like, oh my God, look at me.
What?
Calvin Klein. We're matching, baby. Oh my God, drip out.
So yeah, so that was how I found out I was pregnant, and that was like the week like leading up what happened. So my very, very, very first symptom was heavy food aversions. I couldn't even like look at things that I normally would eat. I was like, ew, and all of a sudden I just hated food, and I was like, oh my God, this has never happened in my life. Wait, when we saw the lemurs, you were in there.
Which means Daddy got a great deal because he got you in for free.
But yeah, so that's what it was. Food aversion, then I was like to the point where I couldn't even like get up. I had really severe shortness of breath. And then I spent the next 6 weeks after that in bed, completely in bed, throwing up every day, all day, middle of the night, throw up.
4 times a night.
It was so bad. I was completely like bed stricken for a month and a half. All right, so Riley's getting a little fussy now, so we're gonna wrap this video up. But like I said, that's how I found out. That was my week, and then thank you for making me very, very sick, Mom. I really appreciate it.
Lovely.
I threw up for about 8 weeks.
Lovely. Yeah, she's only 9 weeks today, so you threw up almost as long as she's been alive, and she got your hair.
All right, that's it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Join the family if you haven't already done so. And we'll see you in the next one.
Say
We need a
bye.
thumbnail.
Say bye. Stick me the food.